Hello, my name is Dan Jensen, and I'm the volunteer coordinator for the Forrest Native Plant Botanic Garden. Today we're celebrating Earth Day 2012, and we're planting and weeding and many other activities. Most important, we're planting the coastal prairie. A lot of different grasses up there that will continue to bloom throughout the year, so come join us for this. I'd like to thank our sponsors, the Relic Tavern, Mike and Gail's providing lunch today, and the California Native Plant Society, the Benicia State Parks Association, Starbucks, and Timberland from Fairfield. They came to join us all this morning to do all our activities. Thank you very much, and let's get back to work.
Well, good morning. This is Brad Kilger. I'm the city manager for the city of Benicia. And I'm at the Botanical Gardens doing the volunteer cleanup for Earth Day. And I have to say it's been a fantastic event. We've got a lot of volunteers out today. You'll see them. This is really a jewel. A lot of very dedicated people giving a little back. I always like to think on Earth Day that, you know, Earth's pretty fragile, but it's been taking care of us for a lot of years. And we need to do whatever we can to take care of it. So have a great Earth Day.
I'm Norma Diener. I'm the director of the Forrest Native Plant Botanic Garden. And this garden was started by my late husband just as a concept. And then when he passed away, people from the California Native Plant Society want to pay tribute to him. So they worked together to put this garden. And this was open to the public in 2004. It now has around 3,000 plants and with around over 300 species. The plant I'm looking right now is called the California snowdrop bush. And if you look, it has a beautiful yellow in the center, and it just droops. So it's really a beautiful, beautiful plant. Doesn't really grow so big, but it's so spectacular. This is what is called a bush poppy, and it's really beautiful. It blooms all summer long. Beautiful yellow plants. We have almost 300 species with almost around 3,000 plants. 3,000 plants. The garden is around 3.5 acres, and we have an agreement with the state parks just to maintain it. So this is really part of the state parks. Native plants are really one of our treasures of California, and this is a very, very unique park. It's a very small park. We have the Carquinez Straits over here. You have a lot of fishing, and there's also a lot of different birds. This is an important bird area designated by Audubon.
Hi, I'm Kathy Carriage, and I'm the vice chair of the Benicia's Community Sustainability Commission. And I'm working out here today in the Native Plant Garden. That's part of the Benicia State Recreation Area, an area, by the way, that is slated to be closed by the state because of budget cuts. So hopefully we'll be able to be here next year, but who knows? And we planted some native plants this morning, and now we're weeding around some of the older established plants.
Hi, my name is Janelle, and I'm from St. Patrick St. Vincent High School, part of the Environmental Club. We're just here in the Benicia Botanical Garden, pulling out some weeds, planting some new native plants, and yeah, happy Earth Day. Gardening's pretty fun. It's my first time really gardening, and then I'm enjoying myself, and it's a nice day outside, so don't want to waste it.
My name is Richard Talbot. I'm store manager of Timberland Outlet in Vacaville, California. I'm here with 4 of my team members today, Chrissy, Josh, Kelly, and Corinne. This is our 4th Earth Day here at the Botanical Gardens. We come out every year and help plant, tend, and weed, and whatever is necessary to give back to the community. Timberland, this is our 20th year of community service. nationwide. We were one of the first retailers to start community service with our organization. And so it's just an opportunity for us to get out into the community and help serve and give back to the earth and to the people around us.
Hi, this is the coastal prairie where today we were planting a lot of grasses for hopefully our new amphitheater, which is going to be here for educational programs. But today the gang from Timberland was here planting grasses. This grass here is Carex barbaria, which is a nice 3-foot grass that'll grow next year. This area that we're planting is one of the 5 plant communities that display plants that are native to Solano County. Down below, all those, there's 5 gardens down there, those are grasses that are native across California. So let's get back to work.
Hi, I'm Allison from Simply Perfect Gardens and a member of the Native Plant Society and the Benicia Tree Foundation. This, you've probably heard all about this native garden. However, it's split into 2 distinct gardens. The lower garden that you can see from the parking lot is basically a homeowner's model of California native plants that you can use, and they're separated into different areas. There's a sensory area, there's a butterfly area, there's a Native American area, a meadow area, riparian, and then the upper part of the slope is all split into different bioregions for Solano County. So, for example, there's a grasslands area over there, there's a chaparral area, as well as a valley oak woodland, and each of the plants in this upper portion are native to Solano County. The ones in the lower area are just California natives, native and hybrids for all of California. Some of these plants are really exciting. I get really excited about these plants, so you may have to slow me down. This is a gooseberry, and actually it's a currant. You can tell it's a currant. It's ribes aureum, and yes, they're edible. And this is a currant because it has no thorns on it. There are gooseberries, and they look the same except they have thorns. This is a California native, well, they all are, Ceanothus, and you can see it's got berries on it. The berries are edible but not yummy, so natives used them in food. We don't. It's a buckeye. You see them a lot around town. They make a lovely street tree. The minor drawback is if they don't get summer water, they lose their leaves in the summer. California native plants tend to do that because we have such a hot, dry environment that if they go dormant early, they can start their leafing out when there's water in the early spring or even late winter. So this is one of the first plants to leaf out in the spring and one of the first to go dormant in the winter. In the winter, the bark is a beautiful white, and if you have it against a dark background, it's just stunning. California poppies, they do great here.
It's our state flower.
It is our state flower, very easy to grow. They're called poppies because when the seed pods, this is a seed pod right here, when it matures, it tends to get straw colored, and if you just do this along it, pops right open and throws seeds out. You get hundreds of seeds per pod, and they're relatively inexpensive and easy to sow. It's a blue oak. We have a lot of blue oaks in our hills. They are deciduous. It's hard to tell this time of year, but once these leaves are mature, they really do have a bluish-green cast to them. And they really give a distinctive color. If you take Highway 680 from here to Fairfield, you'll see a number of them up on the hills. That's a sambucus. It's elderberry. Now, be very, very careful. Most of the sambucus is poisonous, and it was actually used, I think with buckeye also, to stupefy fish. the Native Americans used to throw it into the water to make the fish lose consciousness, and they could just scoop them up. This is a soap plant, another one that was used a lot by the local natives. It has a root that's almost like a brûlot pad. It's a bulb-like structure, and they would dig them up and use them for scouring. And actually, it does have a little bit of a bubble to it too. So if you're ever stuck without proper cleaning supplies, you may want to try it or not. Gray pine, Pinus sabbatica, is native to our region. Higher elevations, however, you'll see it just around the snow line on Mount Diablo, Jackson. There's this cutoff. If you go through Jackson, California, boy, you can really see where all of a sudden there's a lot of silver on the hills, and that's it. It's called a western redbud. It loves hot, dry locations. Southwest facing hillsides, and you can see this from a mile away. If you're hiking up in even the Rock Park in Fairfield area, there are some rocky southwest-facing slopes where you'll find this. But even further north, up near Lake Berryessa, you see a whole lot of them. They do really well in neglected, rocky soils. For Benicia, this is just a great tree for those cut hillsides. This is a Fremontodendron, and we have a number of them around town. One of them is right on Highway 780 at the Southampton entrance, and it's actually the West 7th entrance, but that's it. It's just gorgeous. It's very difficult to find a good location for this because it thrives, nay, demands neglect. It does not want summer water. It does not want you to prune it. It actually has these horrid little stellate hairs on the leaf that they make it look like flannel. Its common name is flannel bush, but if you get it on your skin on a hot day, it just burns. If you get it in your eye, you're going to have some discomfort for quite a while. It even will bother your lungs if you're working with it. So be very careful with it. It does have a tendency to be just covered with these yellow blooms, and then after the blooms have faded, they turn to this little dark brown color. So for about a month after it's bloomed, you have this golden hue to it. Some people like it, some people don't. So this is deer grass, and right next to monkey flower. We'll do both. This is deer grass. This is a really nice architectural element in a garden, grows easily in a garden situation as long as you give it plenty of space. You can cut it back in the spring so that these are in the winter so that these go away and all the new green growth looks less dramatic. It gives it a tidier look. But it's real easy to grow and work with. And this is a California monkey flower. I was told that they're called a monkey flower because if you look at the flower, it looks like a big screaming monkey's face. There are a lot of varieties of this, not varieties, hybrids. This is one of the hybrids. They go everywhere from a bright yellow to a dark red and all the shades in between. When I was young, I was a hiker. I'm still a hiker. Yesterday I went out hiking, and one of the nicest things was to be able to walk for 12 miles and see plants that I knew well, partially because I've studied them, but partially because of native plant collections like this. And I think that it's really a great way for people in an area, especially kids, to get a sense of place, to see native plants all together. I like to garden with them because they are native to the area. They take a lot less babying. You don't have to water them as much. especially the ones that we pointed out here today. All of the ones that we talked about are drought hardy. They're not just drought tolerant. And that's really important to be able, especially if you have a good chunk of property, to allow yourself space where you don't have to water for an extended period of time. So I think it's really important for everybody to understand which ones are native, which ones aren't, and really enjoy what comes with the territory and mix it in with what comes with your family history.
I'm Carol Berman, and I'm president of the Benicia State Parks Association, which I had been since 06-07, and prior to that I was president of the same association back in the 80s. But we came to a new dawning here a few years back, and we're looking to save these beautiful, beautiful properties. The natural property we're in right now, the state recreation area, and the downtown historic site. Our association is primarily interested in the historic site because that's where our docents have given tours. And since December of this past year, December 11, we've gained 315 paying annual members, which is a real boon. We've tripled our base amount, which we're going to use to help run the parks, and particularly the historic park. Memberships start anywhere at $10 per student up to sponsors and donors that go all the way up to $1,000. Right now we have our proposal into the state, and we're looking to do negotiations with the state Parks Department coming up this next month, because we're at the end of April now, so it'll be in May. And things are looking good. The city of Benicia is going to be taking care of ground areas out here at the recreation area, and also around the Capitol. But the association, our association, Benicia State Parks Association, will be running the historic buildings and caring for all the gardens and grounds around the historic home, the Fisher Hanlon home. Well, we have memberships, or they can go online to Protect Benicia State Parks, and we have a P.O. box, so it's P.O. 404, Benicia, California, 94510. I can give you a phone number too, 707-742-4108, and that's an office number that we're using right now. That's not the Capitol number, that's a number for the association. So we're hoping for more tours, private and school, more attendance. We're looking at grants. We've already put one grant in with a local agency, and things are looking good. It's a challenge. It's something that has never happened before. It's completely unprecedented. We say that we're birthing a new park.
If this is pruned back a little bit to keep it off the trail.
You ran a great event.
Thanks.
And you got a lot of them. Man, great turnout.